Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to GCC's Georgia Chiro Connection. I'm your host, Dr. Kathy, and today we are talking with Jenna Quentin from Adjust Your Media. Hi, Jenna.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. So, we're going to jump right in and give people some good, useful information that they can apply in their own practices today. So, let's talk about social media and why it is an important part of marketing a practice.
Yes, it's something that we can kind of overlook or undervalue, but everybody has their phone within an arm's reach pretty much all of the time. Yes, exactly. And when we think about it, it can be like, oh, well, I know that a lot of people have Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, but actually, those that I mentioned, YouTube is the most searched site, the most searched website in the world. Facebook is second, and I think Instagram is third or fourth now. So they are things that people are checking daily, and we can connect with them, whether it is locally or a little bit further out, if we're wanting to inspire, all of Georgia. It's just really powerful, and it's something that is a little scary though too. So I love to support chiropractors with using it.
Okay, so it's interesting that you talk about YouTube being a search engine because
Yes.
a lot of people think that the only search engine is, you have to go into Google. But when you want to know how to do something, what's the first thing you do? You pull up a video on YouTube. How do I blah, 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 right? That's the first place that people go. So it makes sense that that should be a resource for us to use for our offices. But there's a lot of doctors who have been in practice for a long time and don't use social media for their practices, mainly because, I hear a lot of different reasons. One, I don't want to figure it out. Two, that's not for the people that I want to see. Three, nobody uses that for business, right? So they have a lot of different reasons why they don't use it. So tell us why they should.
So, first off, when I think about it, I think about the people who I actually want to see in a chiropractic office, whether it is a mom who's has a colicky baby and she's so tired and she's hiding in her closet with a piece of chocolate for just a few minutes, and she's like, I'm just going to jump on Instagram, and she's just going to scroll Instagram for a little bit. What if we showed up for her and we said, hey, your colicky baby, we put a hashtag on a post about colic, about newborns, about natural health. So she found it through a hashtag, probably, or we made a reel that was interesting, and so she finds it through a reel, and now we've given her hope. I'm here for that mom. As much as I love serving chiropractors, I'm actually not here for them. I'm there for that mom because I've been her. I have 4 kids, and there's so many times when, I have been alone and felt isolated. And what I had was social media, or back in the day, blogs. Or even when I think about like teenagers, I have a 13-year-old. He doesn't have social media, but when he does eventually, I want him to see things that encourage him to grow as a man, to be powerful and healthy. I want him to come across a dynamic chiropractor who tells him he can live a strong, healthy life, not just a bunch of junk on TikTok. Or even I think about, dads in their 50s who are on Facebook Marketplace, looking for a generator. I want them, when they open Facebook, to find you. I want them to find chiropractors in their area who are sharing value about how their life and their health doesn't have to just degenerate, how they can be as vibrant as they want to be, as active as they want to be. So that's really the why. And I could say, oh yeah, billions of users, and income and reach and awareness and consideration, and I could do all of that, but really it's just the people, it's just the stories.
So are people actually going onto these platforms and searching for something other than just, aimlessly scrolling through whatever happens to show up? Are they actually typing things in to search?
Yes. So here's the comparison that I frequently make. I have a bunch of sisters. My sister might tell me, you should go to my hairstylist. And I trust my sister and I love her, but also I'm not going to take her word for it. I'm going to go look at that hairstylist's Instagram and see, do I like that office? Do I like that salon? And do I want to go there? As a mom who can be a little bit anxious sometimes, I want to see, is this a chiropractic office that I could take my kids and I could get adjusted and my kids could play for a minute? Because I feel like that's a lot of times how families get started under care is maybe it's mom is like, I had these babies and now I'm in pain, or but she wants to see, is this a place that I could take my kids? Users are checking your social media, whether they've been referred by a family or friend. They are. I can't give you the stat right now. I don't have it written down, but a majority of people are going to check you out online before they come in.
I've heard that said so many times because before social media was as big as it is, and we spent most of our time going to local networking events and business associations and Toastmasters and Rotary clubs and whatever it is that the doctors went to, you got to know people personally in a physical space. And so they were able to get to know you, like you, and trust you. And that's how we were able to build such businesses. But now it seems that social media is the place where people get to know you, like you, and trust you, because they see your personality, they see your space, they see your energy. They almost feel like they're friends with you by the time they come walking in, if they've watched a bunch of your videos.
Yes. And everything you said is when we are doing our social media well, when we are really showing up, when, like you said, doing videos so that they can see, is this a chiropractor who's in jeans and barefoot in a beachside office? Is this somebody who's going to be suit and tie? Hearing your voice and seeing your face, seeing that personality. I have a doctor in Chicago who, an older gentleman found him online and saw a picture of this doctor's face and said, that's a man I could trust. And I was like, how did he get that picture? He had a professional come and take pictures. And I recommend that. Like, yeah, it's hard to get pictures. It's hard to, be like, oh, okay, is my hair okay? And is everything, this is a good day. Am I in good light? But doing things like having a professional come and take a bunch of pictures, that'll last you 3 months, 6 months. But that was just one story of, yes, showing up in a great professional picture as himself. That potential client found him and trusted him from that picture.
Now, since you mentioned the professional pictures, let me ask you a question in your opinion, because you are dealing with this on a daily basis. What's the mix or the best ratio that we should see when it comes to videos? How many videos should be like the professionally recorded, perfect lighting, absolutely prepared, staged out, planned, and what percentage should be hey, you know what? I'm just coming on here because I got a great little tip that came up with a lot of patients today, and let me just jump on live. What's a good ratio for people?
So I think it depends on a little bit the platform and the format. So jumping on in stories and just saying, hey, I had this idea. I had this divine download. I'm just going to share this right now in stories. In stories, I like to show up without makeup, just living my life, doing a spontaneous story. And then sometimes after I've done it, I think, oh, I'm gonna write that down in my journal, and I'm going to add that to the list of things that I want to do a better video about. I think a great ratio is maybe planning for a professional, like good video once a week on Facebook or Instagram. But here's the thing, I'm going to put it on YouTube Shorts, Facebook, Instagram. I'm going to spread it all over. But about once a week is something that I think all of us can manage. Also, because if you plan like the first Monday of the month, you take lunch and you block it out and you say, I'm doing those 4 videos today. And then somebody, whether it's you or somebody else, can trim them and post them. But I think 4 videos a month that are really, polished and planned out is a great ratio. I can do that. You can do that. And then showing up at other times where you're like, I'm just going to go live, and maybe I'll make it into a polished video later, in stories or live, and even if it is just today at lunch, I'm going to make 6 reels. I am a planner, but I realize that sometimes I need to leave some space for innate. And when I am feeling on a Saturday night, like, wow, this lighting is really pretty and it looks, like what a nice evening, I'm just going to make some videos. So kind of just giving myself space and permission. I have one doctor who she only sends me videos when she feels like it. She films them and sends them to me. And then, so her content is 90% video, just because she films them ahead and sends them to me. And then we plan it out for a month. So, but that's because she's in a good flow where she wants to make video, and she doesn't want to plan it, and it just is in a good flow. So it honestly is also personality based, I think.
Great. Now, you mentioned a lot of different platforms. And for the docs that are listening that are thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do this one and this one and this one and this one, that's a lot of creation. What is your thought about using the same content on multiple platforms?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We really have to. I know that somebody said create 20% and promote 80%. And I'm not completely sold on that, but definitely using the same content. I would say adjusting it a little bit, because we're going to use more hashtags on Instagram. Facebook, really, we're only going to use a couple hashtags. We're going to say link in bio on Instagram. We're going to say like and subscribe on YouTube. So we're going to change it a little bit. So like if I was doing a video, at the end, my call to action, I might not say it. I might just put it in words so that I can swap it out for different platforms. Or I might just not at all and just say, follow for more helpful, videos for your family's wellness. I might kind of leave it kind of generic so that I can repurpose, but I'm all about repurposing. I think if we write a blog post, we should use AI and cut it into social media posts. I think that then we should send it out in an email newsletter and then do a text blast and just have a month of content that's created out of a very small amount of actual creation. And the rest is just repurposed and reposted.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to explain a couple of things that you just said in case somebody doesn't understand. First one, link in bio. Explain that.
So on Instagram, your post can't have a clickable link. The only way on Instagram that people can click on your website is to go to your profile, and then now we can have up to 5 links, which is really amazing. So people are pretty used to it on Instagram that they need to go to your profile and click that link. But realizing that when people do that, I consider that a step towards conversion, because they have gone to a little bit of effort. They had to go over to your profile, they had to click on that, and then they see your website or your blog or your online scheduling link, or your, maybe it's a link for an event. Maybe those are your different links that they have there. But in your caption on Instagram, it doesn't do any good to put a website unless it's something very short, like unless your website name is really short, like Rhode Island Chiro or something like that.
Okay. All right. Next one that you said, like and subscribe.
Yes. So on YouTube, that is what a lot of people will encourage you to do, because you want them to subscribe to your whole channel so that they get notifications when you post a new video, so that in the algorithm, it reminds them that you're there. It just helps them to find you again. And the number of subscribers that you have on YouTube, we want it to be going up, not just people, seeing, not just that one-off video that they enjoyed. So we do encourage them to like the video on YouTube, but honestly, we want them to subscribe to the channel.
Right. Okay. Next one, you said call to action.
Yes. So this is telling people what you want them to do next. And I think that we we don't realize that people are in so much fight or flight most of the time. Like, we're all just trying to survive. Like, if I think through my afternoon and the things that I need to do to get a kid to speech therapy and then make dinner, and then, people don't know what you want them to do next because they're in fight or flight and they can't think what to do next. So we need to tell them. We can tell them, comment with, a lot of times I will even say, comment the word yes, and I will send you the link to my event. Or comment with an emoji. That's something that everybody can do, where they're like, I'll do the exploding mind emoji. Telling them one small step that they can do next. Maybe it is call you and come in for an adjustment. Maybe it is, come to this event, but maybe it is something as simple as leave an emoji. But we always, in every piece of content, whether it is an email newsletter and we tell them reply to this, or whether it is YouTube and we tell them to subscribe, or Instagram where we say, just comment with an emoji. And then what we want to do is that allows us to also follow up with them and reply to that, basically.
Okay, the last one I'm going to ask you to explain for people. You said if you write a blog post, have AI take it, splice it, use it. So explain that, because a lot of people are not dipping into AI yet. And a lot of tech people are, but a lot of docs are not. So let's talk about that one.
So it's a big topic. I have been writing for websites and magazines and businesses for about 16 years. So it's scary for me to be like, can a computer do my job? And so what I want to encourage people is use, like I said, take a piece of content, a blog post or an article, and you can put it into ChatGPT and say, use this information to write 3 Instagram posts. So being really specific with giving it content that you're feeding it the information, and then you're giving it a very specific task of writing 3 Instagram posts based off of this chunk of text that you gave it. Then it will give you something that is fairly good. If you just say, write 3 Instagram posts about chiropractic, it's going to be all over the place. It might be good, it might not, but it will sound really generic. And I want to stay away from using AI like that. Don't use AI as if it can just replace the human spirit. I want to use it to say, maybe even you take a really great review that somebody wrote, and you copy it and you paste it into ChatGPT, and you say, write me an Instagram post in second person using this review, using quotes from this review, and using it kind of as a junior writer, where you're going to have to edit it, you're going to have to tell it exactly what to write, but using it to help speed up your process. Especially, like, I really do love the option of giving it a blog post, but you can do that in reverse too. If you've written out some social media content, copying that, like maybe you did pediatric month in May, you copy some of those pediatric posts and you say, here's some social media posts. Please write me a 500-word article about pediatric chiropractic using this information that I'm giving you. Then you can guide it a little bit better than just random information.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing so much information with us today.
Well, my pleasure. Anytime.
Absolutely. And while I've got everybody still here, we just want to remind you that this weekend coming up, we have our cornhole tournament. It is Saturday. Bags are going to fly at 2:00. It's at Dr. Dan Tu's office over here in East Cobb area. So the information about that is on our website. That's georgiachiropractic.org. And then don't forget, are going to want to bring friends. If you haven't already registered, please register, but you're going to want to come, have a great time. Don't forget to share this with people, because this helps raise money to support End Slavery Georgia. So it's a great cause. It's a great time, a lot of fun. So that's this Saturday, the 10th at 2:00. So you've got to be there around 12:30, 1:00, 1:30 to get registered, but check out all the information on our website at georgiachiropractic.org. And if you haven't already, check out our website about our upcoming golf tournament. It is this October. It'll be back at Bridge Mill. You know that it was sold out last year. It will be sold out again this year. So get registered for that. Set up your team. Get all the information you need. That's our 6th annual Chiro Cup. And there's a discount if you register this month. So hurry up and get yourself registered. This way you can get that discount. You can use that QR code right there on your screen. You can go to chirocup.com or you can go to georgiachiropractic.org. And while you've got your calendar out, make sure that you're marking off our different continuing ed events that are happening all around the state. We've got them in Atlanta. We've got them in Augusta. We've got them in South Georgia. We're in Savannah. And of course, we're back up here in the Atlanta area for our convention at the end of the year with our Christmas party. So lots of stuff coming up. Hope that we see you live at one of our upcoming events. Jenna, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too. And everybody else, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week right here for GCC's Georgia Chiro Connection. Bye-bye.